That brings us back to the same question, though, that we had asked like an hour ago, which is, what the hell were they thinking then? What the hell was it?
I don't think anyone's come
Maddie
up with a good answer.
Maddie says it's that level of incompetence. I mean,
I don't know it's incompetence. I think the problem that we're seeing here is an acute lack of Ukrainian capabilities. And I think they're doing the best with what they have, but I don't think they have very much.
And they're being forced to probably do it too, so they have to go with what they got.
Yep.
They're being forced to do the Rumsfeld doctrine. You just go to war with the army you got. You go on the offensive with the army you got. And I mean, think about it. It's all those motherfuckers, proteges, that are telling the Ukrainians how to fight now anyway.
Well, I got to ask, if we did this offensive to really think about it, let's go back to where it would have to be planned. Where do they have the command staff and the organization there together that can control and say, we're going to take units from here. We're going to gather them here. We're going to spread them out. We're going to get them closer to the front so that when we attack, we can go in waves, blah, 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 blah. But first of all, did they even have that command structure to even do that? And that's, I think that gets missed, is that there are breaks in the structure of the command right now, I think, on the front, where you may have some people just acting on what they're saying. Because if you really think about training wise, if you're going to pull off an offensive, the Russians always train to do the offensive before they do it. Usually that's what you want to do. How much time have these units that had gotten coordinated together? Did they have enough time to even get to know each other, as in who would be to the left of me and who's going to be to the right of me? Because that brings up a lot of questions when you're on the front attacking yourself and you look over and there's somebody there that,
but they don't really have time to get to know their buddies and stuff.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Even the Germans did that, and they still fought viciously. Right. And it was just a hodgepodge of people thrown from every place they could grab people from.
But what I mean is that you look over and there's somebody there that you can't identify, and you're not expecting to be there within your area operation. You know what I mean? And you can't identify. What do you do at that point? You got to find out. You can't let somebody through your line. You know what I mean? There's a lot to what's going on. The decisions the tank commander has to make, and the platoon leaders and sergeants, is that sometimes what you see is not really reflective, probably, of what reality was that caused the scene. There's usually a lot more.
May I answer this question? So there are 2 points. The first point is that I don't think that there are a lot of Soviet era officers in the Ukrainian army, because like most and the best of them defected in 2014. And the other thing is that the guys that they have now in command, they are driven out of ideological illusions. So they think that they are just the Germans in World War II, and they will ride the armors, and they will crush the peasant Soviet army, blah blah blah. And when they take decisions while having these illusions, these are the the results that they will receive, and we will see, and you will say, what the fuck's going on here? But it's very simple to understand these 2 things. They don't have good officers, that they have understanding of the tactic of the Russian equipment, the Soviet equipment that both sides have. The second thing is that they have illusions, because you know what? The eager people to go and to fight were those that driven out of ideology, and not just let's say a bureaucratic form of military, like something deeply rooted in the nation. There is no such thing in Ukraine right now.
I think one thing that I would note, getting back to Vaughn's point, and I think it also ties to your point also, is that the forces that we've seen in these offenses so far look to me to be very, very, very green. In other words, an MRAP hits a mine and everybody starts driving around in circles, or stops, or whatever. Or drive straight into the minefield, it doesn't to me look like they have a lot of combat experience. It doesn't to me look like they have the sort of stress management that you'd expect from those cases, from actually having combat experience. So it looks to me like what we're seeing so far is that very green troops have been thrown into the front line. So I don't think they've gotten to know each other. I don't think they've gotten training. I don't think they've gotten anything. I don't know if they have some more experienced troops holding back for a later offensive, but so far what we've seen has been really, 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 really untrained.
I want to do my closing, so really quickly, if you guys don't mind, because I got to actually hop off. Okay, thanks, Maddie. I'm gonna make it really short because I have to go. But I was just gonna say that whatever it was that Ukraine tried, we don't know exactly what it was, and it looks like it didn't go too well. But this might be the beginning of the end for the war in Ukraine. I think that we're already seeing that. These discussions sort of happen where people in high places are starting to kind of a little bit waver in their support, I think, for this war. And I think that this is just going to accelerate whatever the end game for Ukraine is going to be. And that is all I have to say. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure to be here, and have a great rest of the chat.
Yes, stick to this computer.